We are joined now by three experts on the papacy: Monsignor Anthony Figueiredo, journalist Delia Gallagher, who's covered the Vatican for 28 years, and John Allen, editor of the Catholic news website Crux. You, John, have been here for 30 years yourself. I want to start with all of you on this one. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but no one saw this coming. Scale of 1 to 10, how surprised and shocked were you?
11.
Off the charts.
Yeah.
No. Shock, but a good shock. It's turning out to be a good shock now.
Everybody was predicting a pope from Italy. Wasn't meant to be.
Absolutely, but we got the man I think that the church needs at this time. The world from different countries, spent time in Europe, spent time in South America. Pastor of the church speaks many languages. From a pastor to the head of the department that appoints bishops.
The first words he spoke today, he thanked Pope Francis. He talked about the poor. Are we talking about a Francis Part 2 here, or an extension of Francis? What do you think?
I think partially, yes. Certainly his missionary experience in Peru speaks to that, the social justice aspect. But also, and importantly, the cardinals, I think, were looking for somebody to steady the ship. And what's very important about his experience in Peru is that he was also elected as the head of this international religious community, the community of St. Augustine, the Augustinians, which means he was kind of like a mini pope. You know, he also had to deal with, on an international scale, problems of finance, problems of personnel, etc. And I think that stands him in good stead for the Vatican.
A global perspective.
Yeah, and I think it's probably important to mention that even though, and we are quite rightly, as Americans, feeling pretty good about ourselves tonight, it's also important to remember that I think many cardinals saw Cardinal Prevost, now Pope Leo, not simply as an American, but really as a citizen of the world. You know, in the Italian papers, they referred to him as Il meno americano tra gli americani, the least American of the Americans. And I think that was part of his appeal.
Well, you saw people there chanting USA, USA. First American Pope. Is he going to be about America, or as you were starting to say here, it sounds like he'll be thinking more globally?
Well, interestingly, he did speak tonight in his opening address in 3 languages, Italian, Spanish and Latin. Not a word of English.
Not a word.
Yeah.
He'll certainly be an important American voice in the American conversation. I think he'll have a lot of weight probably in the United States, but I think he will try to maintain a certain distance as Pope from all the American issues. You know, he has to think about the universal church.
No doubt. With 53 million American Catholics, do you imagine him growing the flock, keeping it the same, losing it? How do you see that playing out?
Well, I mean, the truth of it is trends in religious affiliation are based on highly personal decisions that aren't directly dependent on who's sitting on the throne of Peter. But I would say, just echoing Delia's point, that he immediately has the attention of those American Catholics, and what he chooses to do with the megaphone he's been handed is going to have a great deal to say about the direction that the Catholic Church takes, not just in America, but ever. Because let's remember, even though he's an American Pope, he's not the Pope of America. He's the Pope of the entire universal church.
That is the truth. 15 seconds here. What do you imagine to be his top priority? What's he got to do right out of the gate?
He said it right at the beginning. I want to proclaim God's love. The church has to be missionary.
I think he's got to get a lot of good people in to help him at the Vatican, because that's a key point of the Pope, creating unity amongst all Catholics. So he's got to get some good help in there.
Final word?
Dialogue. He said he wants to be a man of dialogue, so he's not just going to be talking, he's going to be listening. He's a great listener, and what he hears will inform what he does.